to do, actually. I had to read like 5 chapters today.
No. Okay, we are live. So, welcome everyone to Tribute Talk. Happy Monday. We are talking about chapters 17 and 18 of Fire. But before we jump into that, last week was kind of a big week, maybe-ish, compared to what we've had in the past with Ballad. So we can chat about that for a little bit.
I mean, first things first, I feel like we gotta announce our special guest, Nicole,
So sorry
who's on Tribute Talk with us tonight.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here.
Do you want to intro yourself at all? Like maybe.
Oh gosh, what do we want to hear? I don't even know.
Everything. Start from the first day you you picked up the Hunger Games.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Nicole. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. But I read The Hunger Games when I was 11, I think. So it's been a long time. But really, my first like fascination started like the day of the movie premiere, because all my friends in my 4th grade class went to see the midnight premiere and came to school late and were talking about it. And then for like 3 weeks after, we played The Hunger Games at recess, and then it got banned. So that was the end of that. But yeah, that's where it all started. And then I was just like, I have to read the books. And then in 5th grade, I read them, and I've loved them ever since then. So that's my little background with the books. And my favorite is Catching Fire. So this is very exciting for me.
Of course.
Yay! I'm so sorry. I was just like, Nicole's a part of this. Nicole's always.
Well, also, Nicole joined us last week for our 10-year anniversary watch along. So this is the second time you've been on.
Yeah, very excited.
I have to say, I mean, I think I've mentioned it before on our podcast in an episode, but you sent us one of the sweetest messages about our podcast, like
oh my gosh,
near the beginning. It was like a whole paragraph.
I just felt like I don't want to say like the fandom was dead, but it just felt so quiet for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt so like detached from it. And then like last year, just like 2020 and everything was such a rough time in like life for I feel like most people. And then you guys came around and had this podcast, and it was like, I don't know, it just like brought so much like light into my life. Like I was up at school all by myself in like this dorm room, like locked down. And then like I just got to look forward to the podcast every week. So I just love you guys. I'm so glad that you decided to start doing this and like bring all of us together. It's just been the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's been just so great knowing that there's other people like us, you know? Exactly. So do we want to talk about last week? How did everybody's 10-year anniversary go?
Yes.
It sucks.
Who bought the Steelbook? Which one of you ended up buying the Steelbook?
I got them.
I got them too.
I did.
I still have not, sadly.
No.
AJ, what are you doing?
I am hella broke. So
they're really overpriced. I mean,
the thing is,
let's be honest.
I don't even have a way to play them or anything, and it's not that I would buy them to use them, but realistically speaking, I know that I'd be buying them literally just to put them on a shelf and like take them out every once in a while, which I'm happy to do, but it's just that right now I just can't justify that expense, and it'll happen.
Right, I completely understand.
I'm not as financially smart as you are. I'm just like, I'm gonna buy it.
Me, like, paying however much money just to get some news, like, not making smart decisions over here.
That's a very smart decision. You're holding us together, Emily.
Okay, Emily, you found yours at Best Buy, yes or no?
I did. I went there. I looked around everywhere. First of all, I was shocked that the movie section with the DVDs and everything is so small at Best Buy.
Oh,
I mean, I can't remember the last time that I went to, probably for when Mockingjay Part 2 came out on DVD. It's the last time that I like went to a Best Buy to buy a DVD, and it's just like one little shelf. It's so tragic. Sad. Just not what I remember. But yeah, they didn't have
10
any in
years.
stock, and then somebody thankfully found one in the back for me that was in good condition. So
Nice.
Yeah, you always got to check the condition. That's what I do with like books or well, I mean like I never buy DVDs, but like when I go to the bookstore and I buy books, I never pick the first book I see. I have to
no, of course not.
okay,
Even if it's fine, like on
yeah,
principle.
I'm like, no, it's got to be perfect. So I'm very picky like that. So I was the same picking out my steelbook. I was like, which one of you looks the best? But then also the Best Buy worker lady was watching me, so I couldn't like make too big of a deal out of it. So
Right? Like if they had brought me just the one from the back, I don't know what I would have done if it was, I mean, if it was super messed up, I probably would
yeah,
have been like, excuse me, do you have another one?
walks away sad. But
Yeah, this reminds me during 2020, like the lockdown, I had ordered for pickup like the 8 film Harry Potter movie collection DVD set and like the something else, but anyway. And I went to go pick up my order, and one of the employees there was like, "Hey, so we have it, but it's in terrible condition, and I just cannot let them sell it to you. So I'm gonna cancel this order and just order you a new one, and you'll just come pick it up tomorrow, okay?" And I was like, "Wow, you are great at your job." And it was great. That's what she did. It was awesome. Shout out to her. I wish I knew her name.
a kind woman because most people
Hmm.
just give it to you and be like, "Well, where's my $200?" So
Yeah, no, she was great.
and then I don't know, like I mean, if you joined us for our watch along last week, we were all just talking about the nostalgic vibes that were here last week. So that was probably my highlight of the week was Wednesdays, just like nostalgia, excitement, and also like hope for valid news and now realizing like we're never gonna get it. Like I have become the ultimate pessimist knowing that like we're never actually gonna find out anything. So that was my last straw was third.
That's when I was like, okay, I gotta get us some news.
I know. I'm literally like, you know how like positive I am about, oh, well, like just give it time, we'll figure it out. I'm done. I expect nothing from Lionsgate anymore. It's over. So
It's
They
like that
are,
TikTok audio. You're done. You're done.
I'm gonna go sit out. Okay, bye guys.
I
do
just
we
feel
really think they're gonna? Oh, sorry, I don't want to interrupt
oh,
anybody.
it's okay. I'm interrupting. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, go ahead.
I just feel like they keep like, I don't know, like not that they're like even teasing us with anything, but it's like it's been so long. Like I'm just like, like give us anything. Like just like say like tweet that you're doing something with it. Like I don't know. I'm just like so. I feel like they need to like build up like the excitement for it. I feel like with all the like movies for like the original series, they like built it up so much, and like I most people don't even know like this book exists. So like
Yeah.
I don't know, like where they like I just wish they would like start talking about it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I'm in some fun little like random Hunger Games fan groups on Facebook that
Me
post
too.
like garbage.
Those are wild.
Yes.
They're awful. And like I keep seeing people be like, who do you guys think will they recast Katniss? Like Jennifer
I
Lawrence.
saw that today.
I was like, I'm literally gonna cry the
Yeah.
next
Oh my gosh.
the sad thing is like that's not the first time I've seen that happen. So
Yeah.
nobody knows what's going on.
Me just posting the link to this live on the Facebook group right
Oh
now.
My
me
goodness.
always. But yeah, so we do have kind of news. Emily announced last week. It's breaking news, but I don't know.
I work for Lionsgate, y'all. Surprise.
There you go.
So, and we talked about it a little bit on the watch along, but Production Weekly, which I feel like is a pretty reliable source, right? Posted that well, there's a little section for the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and it's like production news, and it has that it's starting production in July of this summer, and also that they're going to be filming in Poland and Germany, allegedly. So I'm really excited about that.
Yes. But I'm also sad that we're not going to be there. So
No.
you win some, you lose some. You get some news, you find out you can't participate. It's fine.
I mean, that's not to say that they aren't going to film in the United States or anywhere else at all, but it seems like that's where they're starting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how these things work, so.
That's what I assume.
Oh, you're hopeful too, Jerry. You're hopeful they're gonna make a US tour and come out.
Yeah, that's why I assumed they were gonna start filming the captive scenes in Europe and then transition back to either Georgia or North Carolina for District 12.
For like studio stuff too, potentially.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah, because they built a whole new studio in Yonkers for Lionsgate, so maybe they'll use
Oh,
that.
true.
Oh, right.
Wait, I'm so close to it. Oh my God.
Casting or the actress.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can catch
Casting
me
call.
taking a semester off of school to play like a peacekeeper in District 12 for
Right?
because
I will quit my job. I don't know if I can quit my job and go to Europe, but dashed my plans.
There we go. I love it. We'll all be a part of it somehow. We'll make it happen.
Literally all I want though now is for them to film the arena at the Olympic Stadium in Berlin. If that happens, like I tweeted that to Nina back in like September or October, so I'm taking full responsibility.
Yes.
Like, it's a good idea.
They're gonna quote you or they're gonna mention you. Yeah.
Got to be a location scout.
Right?
Very exciting news. Emily actually works for Lionsgate now.
Confirmed.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear any other news. Did anyone hear anything? Otherwise, we can hop right into Catching Fire.
I mean, other than today, I guess, semi-confirmation, although I mean, even less reliable than a tweet from Nina. I feel like that they're looking to cast people of color for the main roles in the film, which that's something that Nina had tweeted a long time ago. I think just about Lucy Gray, wanting her to be a woman of color, which I don't know. I feel like that's gotten. I'm just worried about the backlash. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter. But if they cast Lucy Gray as a Black actress, people are probably going to be upset. But it's like, do people even know about Ballot enough to be that upset?
And I feel like,
I mean, just based on like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, it's okay. I feel like based on some of the comments I've seen, people do like get like feisty. It like shocks me that there's people that like I don't know, like are going against that. So I'll be interested to see like once they actually like get deeper into it, like how people react more people react rather than just like some commenters.
I really don't understand how people can get so upset over fictional characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like I understand like we can all imagine characters in our own ways, and you know when there's a movie adaptation that can differ greatly from what we imagine. Like for me, Sam Claflin was a very different Finnick than I had imagined, but never in a million years would it like
Yeah,
possess
that's exactly
me
what I
to
was
like
thinking.
leave like vitriol and like hate comments and like attacking other people who are supportive of whoever does get cast. It's like, get a life, yo. Like, what are you doing?
Literally.
I just remember there being so much backlash. It's like so many awful comments when Rue was cast. And it's so specific in the book. Like it is very clear that she should be cast with a Black actress playing that part. And I don't know where people, it's like people don't read the text, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like no one's forcing you to watch this movie. If people are really that pent up about a character, just don't watch it. It's like, damn. Get over it.
Like people of color exist too, not just like white characters. There are people of color too.
No shit.
Yeah, I love you.
And like that's the thing about Lucy Gray, how she's different from Katniss. In Katniss, it's clearly specified that she's tan, but I don't know, or like correct me if I'm wrong, but Lucy's gray skin tone is actually never specified in the book. So
Oh,
it is up
Mm-mm.
to it's not it's not specified, right?
Right.
yeah, it's
Right.
intentionally
Okay.
vague.
So it is up to like individual interpretation. So if they choose a person of color, that's just a creative choice. Like I just don't see why people would be like so upset. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just really want them to cast an Asian Sejanus. Like that's
Yeah, when
that's
I
what
was
I
reading
need.
it, I saw like Sejanus as like Indian descent. So like for me, Mina Masood is who I want to be Sejanus. Like he is like my top pick. They probably won't get him, but he would be my top pick.
I think that'd be great.
I cannot wait for like, so we eventually one of these days we will get cast picks, and I can't wait for us to reconvene and just talk about it. Like I'm so
Yeah.
excited for that.
You're never gonna
I'm
get
so excited to like research like that maybe the actors I'm not as familiar with and like watch their movies or TV shows or whatever they've been in and be like, okay, let's try to imagine this like before we get the first promo pics and everything. I keep telling myself like
Oh, I was just gonna say people that start like making edits, like with the
Yeah.
characters and what they look like.
yes.
I'm not gonna get any of this, everyone. I'm done.
Eventually one day it will happen.
No,
Holly.
it won't. I'm giving up.
It's like I have to remind myself of this. Like it's like a carrot on a stick, you know. It's like it's what keeps me going.
Oh my
That's why I
gosh.
get up. Every day I wake up with a new sense of possibility. Every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, today could be the day. And it's not, but you know, every day it resets. So it's great.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that.
It's a good feeling that it's coming. Probably.
I feel like it's
Maybe
excitement in the air, like in the fandom. Like I feel it. Like I know that sounds like cheesy, but like I just feel like there's like anticipation. So that like keeps me excited and like keeps me going, like looking forward to the day they choose to
I don't know. I don't know if y'all saw like that story post a while ago, but I had like a dream fairly recently about like seeing Ballad in theaters, and it was like, you know, Dreamland is weird. I can't really explain it fully because it doesn't make sense, but like we were in it was like the smallest movie theater on the planet, but it was like all of us and Angela. I remember Angela was there because we were sitting next to each other. It was like, I don't know, the Instagram community had like a private screening. And I just remember like the pacing of the movie was like really fast, but we were like, yeah, this is great. Like we were just so excited to be there.
Oh my god, premonition,
And,
let's go.
And like Lucy Gray, like the actress was like 40. It was so strange, but we were like, yeah, like this is great. So you know, and then Jerry, I think you posted like that same day, you were like, I feel it, we're gonna get Ballad news today or something. And I was like, what is gonna happen?
I think we were all sick that day.
We were.
I posted the clown thing I saw on Twitter. It was like me getting ready for my day, and then it's just me in clown makeup.
Yes.
I remade that meme with me and my Effie wig, and I haven't posted it yet because I'm waiting for like news. And then you posted that, and I was like, oh.
I love that. We're so in sync.
Saw the butterfly meme you made.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny because it's called Butterfly. You know, the working title.
True.
Well, Anyone have anything else about Ballad that I don't know what's going on because I just closed out the world of Ballad in my mind?
I feel like Ballad
Holly's
doesn't exist
done.
anymore.
I'm ready to talk about chapter 17 that brings me joy. That
We
is
probably won't get casting news till like what, May? I don't know. So
June,
June.
probably.
June? No, I can't wait that long.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Emily.
And I have to.
I'm just gonna be like deep in the German internet, like
We're gonna
every
be deep in the
night.
We're gonna
meadow.
speak it.
deep
We're gonna be deep in the meadow, guys. This is what we're doing.
Me just looking for clues.
Mm-hmm.
subscribing to everything you can. Emily just gives her money so we know what's going
To
on.
the cause.
We appreciate you. We salute you.
Okay, let's get into Catching Fire.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm really excited Nicole is a part of this week too.
I know.
This is a good week for me to be a part of it. Like when I read it, I was like, okay, like this is good stuff to talk about. I love like them on the rooftop. Like if that scene could have been in the movie, I would have like given my life for that. It's just so good.
I think I forgot how like I never read Catching Fire, and I forgot how short it was. I really was like, is this all we get? Like I love it.
It is short.
Beautiful, but it's so short. It's like a page, 2 pages.
Oh, the rooftop?
Yeah.
Should have had its own chapter, a whole chapter.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing in our lives.
I think I just created like this false reality where there was a Catching Fire that had like a whole or a half chapter.
I mean, considering the fact though that like the reaping gets what, a paragraph? Like it's pretty long for Suzanne.
That's true, actually. But chapter 17, before we get to the rooftop scene, it starts out with what happens post Katniss writing Seneca Crane on the dummy and training. So
Controversial.
very controversial. Obviously, so much so that Plutarch Havensby stares at Katniss while the juice from the peach he crushed in his hand runs through his fingers, which was a detail I never even remembered existing. So I thought that was a funny visual in my head. Just
Me
being
too. I was like, that's specific.
Like in the movie, it's very calm and relaxed. It's like, you may go now. And like nobody really is shocked. It's more just frustrated. So in this part, it's interesting to hear like how physically upset it made him and the other game makers.
Yeah, in general, I feel like it makes more sense in the movie, just the way they decided to play it. And then also how the catalyst for Katniss doing that is seeing Peeta's image of Rue. I think that makes a lot more sense.
Yep.
Yeah, in the movie it's like she doesn't seem like she knows what she's actually gonna do, and she just makes like a snap decision based on seeing what Peeta does, which is very Katniss. She's so like reactionary, and I don't know. Yeah.
And part of like the trauma of what she's gone through, seeing, being in Rue's district and how that affects her, and then seeing the painting of Rue and how it continues to affect her. So I like seeing that continue to resurface.
Mm-hmm. I was just gonna say I like the new guide that she has. The whole question: will this help Peeta stay alive? I feel like I should live by that every day.
Good motto.
It's not what would Jesus do, is would this keep Peeta alive?
Can we get that on a bracelet?
To go with our Enjoy the Show t-shirts.
Please.
Really need that. Like actually. I feel like this is really where Effie starts to feel super different from movie Effie also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like she still doesn't really want to acknowledge that anything is wrong.
Yeah.
Whereas Elizabeth Banks as Effie is so emotional.
Yeah. I think, okay, I found this line in chapter, it was 18, that kind of connects to that. That I will come back to. I'm going to make a note because it's all the way in chapter 18, but let me find it. And then when we get to chapter 18, I'll bring it up again. There it is.
It's interesting that they're all really upset at
Yeah.
Katniss and Peeta, which I kind of forgot about this moment.
I
But
forget because it's not in the movies. Like they
Mhm.
don't. Well, it is, but like they're not. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I can't even remember it.
it's not in the movies. I don't
it's not.
think.
I
No.
don't know if this is like bad of me if I'm like morbid, but like or like I don't crazy, but like reading like 241, like 240 and 241. I'm like I like found myself like laughing just at like the reactions. Like I know it's not funny, like it's like bad, but like I don't know just the reactions. Like where is it? Okay, on 241, Hamish, he's like, good, then I won't be responsible for you killing off any of my friends with your stupidity. Like I like was audibly laughing. Like I don't know, like just I don't know. There's something funny about it to me. So I might be like crazy, but that's what I got out of those 2 pages. It's just like it's dramatic, but I don't know. Like expected, I guess.
Yeah, I was laughing too, but I think I was laughing for different reasons because of like back to Effie, like how she's always like dumb she is, or I guess not dumb, oblivious. Bless her, she's oblivious. But the whole like they're talking about like what they did in training, and she goes, because Peeta said I painted something, and she goes, "What did you paint, Peeta? Was it a picture of Katniss?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like what? Like."
Like a little kid.
I don't think she's as oblivious as just like in denial.
Yeah.
I feel like she's oblivious.
I feel
I
like she's
mean,
a little both.
She's in
yeah.
she's in denial for a different reason in the book than in the movie. In the book, it's more so like the fact that she has victors, versus in the movie, it's more about this relationship she has with Katniss and Peeta. And I would call her oblivious in the book because, again, she has that capital mindset where like it's only upsetting because they're losing a celebrity, not because everything that Katniss has experienced. So I don't know. That's just the way I saw it. And like with her asking about, like, oh, did you paint Katniss? Like, you're very oblivious to like what's going on in the room. Like, clearly they did not just do a cute little arts and crafts session.
I do like that moment at the bottom of 240 when Peeta says that he wants to hold them accountable for killing that little girl. And then Effie's response saying, "This is dreadful, but that sort of thinking, it's forbidden, Peeta." Like, I don't know, that shows like a little bit more awareness to me. Like, okay, but we can't even go there.
Yeah. The concept of forbidden thinking is like crazy to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, to me, that it's like, because that's true in the district, right? They might be a little bit more comfortable discussing things with each other in secret, like how Katniss and Gale do in the woods or whatever. But even when they do that, it's like they speak in like low voices, because even though there's literally nobody around, it's still like so ingrained that they can't do it. But then to hear that from Effie, where it's like, I guess even in the capital to a certain extent, there is some of that, at least enough for her to know about it.
That's so true.
And then to like have to acknowledge it, then it's almost like for for Effie standards, it's almost brave of her to even just say that.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like North Korea,
Yeah.
where they think that the leaders are so all powerful that you can't even think the wrong thing because the government will know.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
That's
scary.
kind of like in I think it's the next chapter. Sorry, this kind of skips ahead a teeny bit, but it goes along with what we're talking about. How when like everybody's so frantic about their victors being in the Hunger Games, and Katniss says like something like that they don't even know how to react because they're just so used to just taking everything that the Capitol says as like gospel, and it's like they don't even know how to be angry at the Capitol they like are, but they don't know how because they just have never like the people of the capital.
Yeah, no, that reminds me, like, I think we're talking about the same part. Like, the line I brought up or wanted to bring up later was about, like, Haymitch says, I don't think the capital people know themselves what to ask. The whole situation is unprecedented. Even the idea of the capital's agenda is a source of confusion for the people here. Which I think I skimmed over that, like, majorly when I first read that, or I just didn't fully comprehend that sentence or those sentences, because again, like, we understand that there is this censorship, but the fact that like people are having confusion over like who to trust, and like can they feel like these opinions that are against Snow and the capital. I don't know, I think it's really, really cool how she put that in there.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, too, Haymitch knows what the plan is. And I feel like that's kind of why he's really upset at Katniss and Peeta in this moment, because he knows all of these people have this plan in place to try and save them.
Yeah.
And they're making it that much harder.
Very true.
Yeah, especially because like
sorry, I'm like done.
Go ahead.
No, that was all I had. That was all I had.
Well, that's a good point. Like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, go ahead.
Somebody speak.
Okay. I'll just quickly. No, just because like in contrast with like the first book / movie, like where you see Haymitch is like he approves of Katniss, you know, showing up the game makers or whatever, and then here he's like so serious and upset. And I mean the line about like, you know, his friends dying, you know, makes it more like hits closer to home for him too. But I didn't even consider, it's like there's probably the rebel plan in place and now. So there's really like a lot riding on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now that you guys say that, I wonder if like when he had them just like train by themselves or whatever, just like left them to themselves. Like I wonder if he kind of did that out of fear he might accidentally like tell them what's going on because they keep, you know, stepping out of bounds, and he's like probably wants to tell them so badly, like, look, we have a plan. Stop trying to mess it up. So I wonder if part of that too, like part of it's probably frustration because of that, but also like I wonder if he is kind of afraid it might slip and ruin everything.
Because I feel like it almost slips when, I mean, this is jumping ahead, but when he says, remember who the enemy is, like he kind of has a scowl on his face. Like you can tell there's something else there. And I think he wants to say it, but he can't. I also think that he cancels the meeting with him and Effie because maybe he has other things to do, like other secret meetings to attend.
That's so cool. I love that. I never thought about it that way.
I'm gonna like write a fan fiction on that so we can like see the
right.
Yeah, that was one thing in the movies. I really loved how they had the parts with Plutarch talking to Snow and stuff. You really got to see the other side of it. It would have been cool to see that with Haymitch too, like Haymitch talking to Plutarch at one point or something, but then it would have kind of given it away, but it just be kind of cool.
We all know.
Yeah.
Just for us.
Deleted scene, please.
Yeah, but as I'm reading, like I can't help but think like what Plutarch's actually saying to Snow at that moment, but like what he's actually thinking, like based on the movie. So it's kind of cool to mix them together.
I have a comment on 244, but if anybody has anything before that.
I have a comment on 272, aka I don't have the same pages. I'm like,
Holly.
I'm like, yeah, definitely agree.
You don't have the hardback?
I am a problem. I choose chaos every day. Go ahead and share it because I'm curious to know where that would be.
It's the paragraph where she's thinking about saving PETA and how saving PETA would be better for the revolution. If she were to die, she could become a martyr, and PETA, would be the better person to like for the revolution because he's good at talking. And I'm like, this is exactly what's being debated behind the scenes. Like right now is who to save, Katniss or PETA, and it's like exactly what Katniss is thinking too, just like at the same time as Coin and everybody else.
Yeah,
That's so
Yeah.
true. I've never thought of that before. I feel like she thinks about like rebellion and like how to like she's so clever and like how to like work things and like her favor or like in the favor for someone else or like in the favor of like the revolution so often. But then like when it comes up to it and they like mention it to her, she's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that was even like a thing. I didn't know that, like, I don't know. And like I know in some instances she like didn't, but like it just shocks me that she thinks so much like that, and then like we see that, and then when it like gets brought to her attention, she's like, what are you talking about? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even like occur to me that Coin is like in the picture now. Obviously we don't know about it, but like it's just weird to think about. Like in my mind she just doesn't exist yet.
Right?
Yeah.
But she's in the background fighting for PETA.
We could have also like not separated them, but it's fine.
We could have told PETA what the plan was.
Yeah.
I agree.
Totally makes sense though. I'm glad you all had your input and this is what happened. Anyway.
But there's no theater in that. Okay.
I don't need theater. Obviously, I'm living my theater life right now with all the drama.
Who ordered this theater?
Oh my god.
There he is. There he is.
Chase comes in for that one line.
Sorry, school's got me stressed, but I am listening and participating in
Like,
my
are
way.
you doing homework right now? Like, what are you?
No.
There's no way I could do homework with like this conversation happening in the background. I'd be like too distracted.
Yeah.
I have heard every word. You could quiz me right now and I could answer everything.
Oh my gosh.
Hit me with a question.
What page is Holly on?
Not the one that Emily's on because she has a different book.
Close enough.
That was good. That was good. Okay, well now that we know that
What fruit is Plutarch holding, Chase?
A peach.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
He's listening.
we know
And Emily got her steel book. AJ hasn't yet. Other people have. What else could I say?
It's the tribute
Talking
talk
about the
recap right
Oscars.
now.
I love
Talking
it.
about the Oscars. Holly has really examined the Will Smith video a bunch, but everyone is kind of like, what the heck happened? So,
I think that
yeah, I know what's
before
going
it went
on.
live.
Pre-live.
Oh, that was in the secret conversation.
We'll be revealing our secrets here.
I know.
That is wow. Thanks for coming in and recapping anyone who's just now joining us. Chase.
And that's what you missed on Tribute Talk.
There you go.
I feel like
It's
that
like
leads us. Oh, sorry, AJ, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's like before every Lost episode, there's that really dramatic voice. It's like previously on Lost, and then that's
Previously on Survivor. That's the only previously on I know, but I would do the Lost person.
There you go.
Thank you.
Add that to the soundboard.
Soundboard.
Hey, who ordered?
Yeah, Holly, where's the soundboard?
Who
Yeah,
ordered
where's
this
the
trivia
Oh,
talk?
sorry, I'm slacking.
In that scene, though, it's so obvious that none of them really know what he was saying, like, or they weren't expecting it, and they're all like, "Who are you?" Like, I don't think any of them really knew who
They're
he
all
was supposed to
drunk.
be.
I feel like
I mean,
the
like
fact
the
that he
actors. I'm
repeats
sorry.
it, it's like him repeating it is just like, oh, this is improv. We have to improv. This is just like a filler conversation.
Yeah, and they're just like laughing, like, like, what the heck is going on?
It's like a dad at a tailgate, just like making some comment.
Nice to meet you. Hungry?
Oh boy.
That's what I'm gonna do from now on. Like whenever we have these silences where no one knows what to say, I'll just play a sound.
Please.
Perfect. My new job.
Holly, I'm gonna hire you with the no money I have, but I'm gonna hire you anyway, to just follow me around through my life.
Yeah.
And in any awkward moment I find myself in, regardless of the context, you'll just be there with your soundboard. Hey, what are this awkward moment?
I love that. I am so I volunteer.
Too
Okay.
far.
Can I just say one thing though? Like this is so off topic, but based off of what I just said, I hate, like always hated it, hate it still when people would be like, I volunteer as tribute. Like when they say I volunteer.
I say that all the
Shugi.
time.
I
Right.
hate it. It drives me nuts.
Or everything has to be like the Hunger Games. Like no context, just it's like the Hunger Games. Everything.
It just reminds me of like when you were in like middle school and somebody's like, who wants to like pass out these papers? And someone would be like, I volunteer for you. And I'm like,
Oh my
I
God.
literally want to die.
It's so chuggy. I
They'll
can't.
do it in college, so that's great.
It is chuggy. Thank you for understanding. That's my
It's like,
dream.
okay, if it's a Hunger Games fan and it's like a Hunger Games conversation, but if it's like not relevant to anything remotely related, I'm like, please take a seat
Stop now.
and be quiet.
We
Right.
Okay,
are the
I'll
gatekeepers.
stop.
Good.
No more.
I just feel like as a Hunger Games fan, you like couldn't find me like out in the world like using that like phrase if someone was asking a question. I don't know. I don't, because it's chuggy. I would be like secondhand embarrassment for myself. Firsthand, I don't know. It's just not good. Secondhand embarrassment for anyone else who does it.
I agree.
It's just
No
bad.
such thing as being embarrassed anymore for me. I'm too old for that.
Oh my God.
Who ordered this thing? Who ordered it?
It's never gonna not be old. I love it so much.
Back to the
Oh
book.
my gosh.
Okay, should we talk about the rooftop scene now?
Yeah.
Because that's next.
That's really what I'm here for.
I don't remember that one.
Hey.
Well, you can remain silent then, Chase.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Emily says sit and sit.
Like find it in my book.
What page is that?
Is
For
it-
anybody not
244 if you're using the regular book.
274 if you're not.
Okay, the line where Peter's like, I just want to spend every possible minute of the rest of my life with you. My heart, like,
Is that not like the most romantic Peter line in the entire
can
series?
that line on me in my life, and it will be complete. I'll be good to go because that's my favorite.
It's so beautiful. Ooh,
All I
it's like pulling him into her room. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
sexy.
I read that and I was like, did I miss this part? Like the first 100
Controversial.
girl? I'm like, what's happening here?
I was like, this is why these books are banned. They're sexual content. It's too
Oh my God.
I do like that Katniss is like, I don't even care how someone might interpret this. I literally don't care about anything at all anymore.
literally.
He really does become kind of like carefree there. for
And
a
she's
second.
like, yeah, she's like, I don't have to think about anyone. I don't care. Just give me PETA and give me peace.
And that's how you know that she loves him.
Yeah. It's just like it's in the little things really. I feel like when I was younger and I read it, I like didn't realize like the little signs of like her love and like affection towards him. And then like I read it again and I just like see little bits and pieces and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Like she really did like love him this whole time, even though I like already knew it. It's just like the little pieces like pop up to me more.
Mm-hmm. I think I just like screamed. Like I was at a coffee shop reading this, but like I screamed on the inside when it's describing them going up to the rooftop, and it's like, we order a bunch of food, grab some blankets, and head up to the roof for a picnic. A day-long picnic in the flower garden. And I was like, no, stop, no.
Everything has to be ruined.
Everything makes me cry. I was like, get out, get out, get out.
Okay, but also the coziest vibes ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
With the sunset too.
Yeah.
Just imagine
Robbed.
young Snow watching that same sunset.
No, be
Anyway,
quiet.
Plotting his next kill.
yeah, literally. That's what Candace and Peter are doing too.
On 245, like right at the end where like he's like, I wish I could freeze this moment right here, right now, and live in it forever. And then she's like, usually the sort of comment, the kind that hints at his undying love for me, like makes me like uncomfortable or whatever. Like I like that part, like because then like on the next page she talks about how like she feels warm and relaxed and like she doesn't feel like that. And I just feel like, I don't know, like I like sympathize with her. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like she just gets to like have a moment of peace. Like, I don't know, like this whole book, she's just like ravaged by like horrible things happening and like pain and sadness. And then there's like this moment. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice. Like, I feel like my mind felt at ease reading it like just for her. I was like, that's great.
Yeah, and I think she's also just dodging bullets left and right from Peeta and Gail being like, do you like me? Who do you like? Who do you like? And so this moment, she's finally
You like me, yes or no? Check the
exactly.
box.
She never takes a moment to like think about it ever. Like there's never a moment where she just gets to spend with either of them where she's not thinking about like some other absolutely horrible thing that's happening like in the background. Like this is like, I feel like one of the moments where she's just like gets to like not think about it and is like, this is just what's happening. And like I feel like that's why, I mean, not to mention everything else that's going on in the background, but like how could you ever like choose or really know your true feelings without like having to like get to spend time with someone without worrying about everything else and all that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
She also just gets to be a kid that goes on a picnic like
Yeah.
with a boy, you know? Like,
AJ, stop.
That's so true. I think about that a lot actually when I read these books and just like, I don't know, like she just never got to be like a normal teenager, which not that she like would have been able to because of like where she lives and the situation there, but like she just never gets to like have like this normal little life experience. I feel like I thought about it a lot when I was like growing up and like in high school and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is something she never would have been able to do, you know? Like, and that's a moment where she gets to, so it's just so nice.
It's very similar to Snow and Lucy Gray when they go on their picnic, though.
Stop.
oh,
Oh, now I'm there.
Can't have nice things because of Emily.
Oh my
Sorry.
When you're
Are we gonna get that scene? Are we gonna get Snow and Lucy Gray on their picnic, but have not gotten the rooftop scene?
like vomit inducing.
my OTP.
Oh no.
Yuck.
No, man. No one's a fan.
It's the most like random of moments. I can't.
Iconic. It is like it's always been a standout moment. A piece of audio. I don't know why.
Every time I like watch the movie now, that's like gonna pop into my head. Like I could be like 100 on my deathbed, and I'm just gonna remember this.
Good.
ever
Take it
since
with
I
you.
like saw someone like pointing it out, like the echolalia was so strong for that. Like for like days after, I'd just be like running around my house doing stuff. Hey, I ordered this pig like every 3 seconds, and I'd be like, oh my god, stop. But you know, I'm not mad about it. I love it.
I love that. But okay, the rooftop scene is over. That's all there is, and that's what really hurts me, if I'm being honest.
It shocks me that they're up there for like a whole day, and we get like a few sentences on, not a few sentences, but like a few paragraphs on like the whole situation, like, and that's it. I mean, I think she was just trying to like, Susanna was just trying to keep it like short and sweet, but like,
The girl give me something to work with.
yeah, right, exactly. I like really, my heart always really hurts when she talks about like her prep team kind of like skipping
Yes.
like them like not really saying goodbye to her, but like crying and having to leave the room one by one, and like all that. I just like can't with that, but it like hurts my soul because I know they're like they do seem like oblivious, like little kids to me. So I'm just like, oh,
Especially with what ends up happening to them as well.
well, yes, that too.
Even Katniss is like, man, I feel bad for these people.
Yeah,
She's like, I'm literally about to be sent to my death, but I feel bad for these people.
yeah. I think she just like starts to understand that like obviously they have it a lot better off than she does, and like than the people do in the districts, but like they have
They
like
didn't
their
choose that.
own, yeah, they have like their own crummy stuff that they have to deal with, and like I guess this is like a symptom of that, like I don't know, or like just from the ramifications of that, like they do have to like do some crummy stuff and like see people like go off to their death, and like not that they like really seem to like comprehend or like take it to a deeper level, but in this moment they do, and I think she realizes it, and that's
Well, and
horrendous.
also like it kind of echoes, or at least like brings to mind the remember who the real enemy is,
Right.
you know, because it's like, yeah, like she I can't remember, I think it's in this book where she has that really, maybe it was like a few chapters ago, I don't remember, everything gets jumbled together after a while, but she kind of has a moment too where she's like, these people didn't choose to be born in the capital, you know, and it's like a line that Gale says in Mockingjay when he's like, yeah, if I was born here and had been eating all this food, I'd believe anything the capital told me, you know. And I don't know.
He's eating like a chocolate ball too. I'm like, that's like the least good food you could probably find in that place. It's like some random coated ball of chocolate. I'm like, okay.
It always makes me think he's like eating like Cadbury eggs, like you know that you get it.
Well,
In
like
the
six
books, I think they
lips.
look like that, so that's why I think that. But like, I'm just like seriously, like of all things, that's what did it for you.
I'm always like, man, that looks good. Whatever that
I mean,
is.
it does look good, but like, come on now, like that's what you're like. Okay, I'll believe anything because I'm eating this like chocolate ball. Like, come on
That
now.
definitely exists in District 12.
Yeah.
You're not
Does
being able
anyone
to
know what
afford
six
it.
lips are though? Or am I the only one who knows what that is?
Wait, what?
Sixlets, the little
Yes.
candy balls. That's what I always imagine, and those things are nasty. So
Yeah, that is
I don't know
true.
how bad it
That's a
must have
good-
been
that-
for him to
yeah.
like those.
Yeah, definitely. Just where I'm like, really? I don't know.
Okay, back to work. Sorry.
Talking about like her wedding dress.
Yeah, it's
I feel
so
like
different.
it does not look anything like what we get in the movies. I have never like realized that until now, and I was like, oh, I am seeing this now, and I'm shocked.
It's a
You mean
lot
it doesn't
like
have an aluminum
sleeker.
foil on it?
Oh my God.
It's hard for me to picture. I'm not very
I can
visual,
but
but
like the silk and like the low neck, like she just does not have any of that going on. The tight, I don't know.
the pearls,
Yeah, none of it.
the long
Foreshadowing.
sleeves.
Yeah, and she has like like a crown. I don't know, like a crown veil situation going on. I'm just like shocked by it. Like I just couldn't picture it.
Why do you think they made the dress so different in the movie?
This dress seems hard to replicate, but then I see the dress that they made in the movie, and I'm like, well, who came up with that idea? Because how do you come up with an idea like that? So I don't know, but this one seems like there's so much going on. I'm like, how do you even like make this into something that someone wears? But I'm sure they could have done it.
When I read that they literally just took 3 dresses and morphed it into one, I thought, yeah, that checks out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
It's grown on me. It's not as ugly as I thought it was when I was little. I mean, it's like when I was little, like I'm 80 or something. It's not the ugliest thing on earth, but it's not the prettiest thing on earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I actually
Fair.
do agree with that. When every time I read in the book, like she has all the pearls on and she like does start spinning, I just like envision in my mind all the pearls like flying into like the abyss, like off the stage, like into the crowd, just like fly, I don't know, like rolling like marbles, like, and it just makes me laugh. I don't know. I seem to be laughing a lot at this book this time around, and it's kind of concerning to me. But
My eye, a pearl got in my eye.
yeah, like that. Like I just feel like I'd be like she'd like slip on it on her heels. I don't know. Like
Ordered this pearl.
Who are these pearls?
oh my God.
No, but the pearl thing, I like for me, it jumped out. I was like, ooh, foreshadowing, because we about to get a pearl moment in this book too. That's going to
That is
become
true. I was just
fairly
thinking
symbolic. Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of foreshadowing in these books. I feel sometimes I feel like it's just like I'm making up the foreshadowing in my mind, but like I feel like there's a lot. I was gonna say this when we did the watch along, so this is kind of unrelated, but like, and I don't think it's like actual foreshadowing, but in the movies, Katniss kind of gets like suffocated a couple times, like by Cato, like on the cornucopia, and by Clove and stuff. And I don't know if there's any times in Catching Fire where she seems like she's choking, but it just like always makes me think like she's going to like get strangled later on. So I'm like,
Ooh.
it's like it's in my mind it's foreshadowing because I know that's coming, but it's like I don't know that was like ever intended because I don't know from the books that's how it goes down. I can't remember, but that's what I always think of. So yeah, I don't know, off topic, but side note.
Me waiting for the soundboard and nothing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
I feel like that's what we're all waiting for.
Ollie.
Oh my gosh. I just feel like I'm trying to find something to like talk about.
Powerful hallucinations.
Oh my god. Not the
That's
hallucination.
not it.
That's a good one.
It's hard to hear, but it's Caesar saying love that.
Oh my god.
Oh, you need the Effie one from the first movie. I just love that.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. You know what's a soundbite that is actually relevant to this chapter that I noticed when I went to the exhibition in Vegas last year? Like where they have the Mockingjay dress, there's like a little speaker that has this little phrase on the loop, and it's when Caesar's like, it's like a and then Candace is like a Mockingjay, but it's like on a repeat, and like it's like a
Upset me if I was there. I'd be like trying to admire this dress and I just like have this on a loop like in my ear.
I mean, it's
irritated.
There's like a couple things that they say like before it loops back around, but I stayed there forever staring at this thing, so it felt like too much for sure.
Yeah.
Branded into your brain.
It's like
it's part of me now.
Oh, I love that. You should get that tattooed. It's like
yeah, I'll get my machine
audio
out.
Wave file.
Yeah. I'll just get my machine out right now.
Do it.
Do a live stream tattoo.
Live stream Hunger Games tattoo. It's a very important line, actually.
It's actually good.
Girl on Fire who?
Does anybody have any comments about the Victor interviews?
Joanna's was a lot different.
Yeah, they're all.
That was my one note too. It doesn't seem very Joanna-like at all.
I love her though, like a lot more in the book right now because she's the only one who understood the whole like what Katniss is wearing as the wedding.
Yeah.
Like
that was so different.
I was
like in the movie, she's the one who's like, "What? Were you serious?"
Yeah.
And not Cashmere.
I was frustrated with Cashmere. I was like, "Girl, you better knock that off right now." That's ridiculous. I'm like, "Oh no, you did not just say that to her." I'm like, "I don't care what she's wearing. She'd be wearing a garbage bag. We're not gonna call her ridiculous."
Yeah.
Guys getting frustrated.
That's how I felt too.
Yeah.
It says the girl whose name is Fabric.
Amen.
Yeah, literally, I'm like, girl, are you serious? Come on now.
Cashmere.
I think something that like I find interesting just because of like how she's like portrayed in the movies, but like Joanna in the book seems a lot more like, I don't want to say like girly, but kind of girly. Like she's like talks about Katniss's like dresses and outfits and whatnot, and like understands like the symbolism of the dress. And I'm like, oh, like interesting how she like, I don't know, in the movies I just don't feel like she's like portrayed like that because we don't get like those lines from her. So I just thought that was like an interesting, like something different about her here as compared to like in the movies, along with like her what she says during her interview. She just seems like a different character now that I'm reading her again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It makes me sad knowing why she understands Katniss though.
Yeah.
Like knowing that she has like everyone she loved has been murdered. Like it
Yeah.
just makes me so sad. Like again, Susanna is an amazing writer because in these short sentences or even like short pieces of sentences, we're like getting so much out of these characters. It just like breaks my heart.
Me with my Anabaria headcanons, I'm like, she didn't want this either. She just doesn't know how to she's not like outwardly rebellious about it.
I'm trying
She
to
didn't grow up that way.
with your theory.
I am too, AJ, and I don't see it. I'm trying.
Wait, I want to hear
She's
this theory. I'm like not with the power.
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
just for like a disclaimer,
Yeah.
like I'm fully aware that this is just me. Like Suzanne did not intend this. Maybe like there's only one thing in Mockingjay that I'm like, but this is purely just because I don't know. I just think she's an interesting character, and I wish we knew more about her.
Yes.
For me, she is. I mean, she's definitely a career. Like she grew up with the upbringing and everything that comes with that, and she might be a little bit more pro games than other districts and whatever. But Katniss like describes these other victors. She's like, yeah, I mean, even the ones who are from like 1 and 2 were like, wait, really? Are we really doing this? Is this really happening? And still like feeling upset about it and feeling, you know, whatever. And for me, like, I mean, I have like really elaborate canons about this, and I can send you stuff if you want.
Yeah.
But because so I guess just to jump to Mockingjay real quick, like when they do that vote for like whether or not to have the Capitol Games, Anabaria's only speaking line in the whole series is that she votes yes to quote give them a taste of their own medicine.
Right.
Which always felt strange to me because if she's supposed to be like a career and she's pro games or whatever, she would be not saying that, or at least not with so much aggression.
Right.
And also, maybe this is a stretch, but you know, the fact that what's famous about her are her teeth, and then she makes an allusion like to taste. She could have said like an eye for an eye, or it's only fair, or like there's so many other ways to express that feeling of like wanting revenge or justice or something. But she specifically says a taste of their own medicine. And we know that the Capitol makes these like forces these deals on victors to get them to cooperate and to do what the Capitol's bidding and you know whatever. And so for me, like I have this like grand thing where like maybe she was a career and she was initially kind of more pro games and whatever, but then like the reality of that hits and it's like trauma is trauma. You would still have a hard time rationalizing like what happened to you and what you did, and like especially ripping someone's throat out. Like I don't know how you can do that and just be like a functioning person. Like you know what I mean. So I don't consider her like a rebel or like she's gonna outwardly try to like thwart the Capitol's power or anything, but I feel like she's definitely like, oh, I guess we're doing this. Okay, that doesn't, I don't know. I don't, I'm trying so hard to like
Oh,
justify this.
interesting. No, that completely. I was like literally thinking about that line when I was like reading about like her in these like chapters, thinking about how like she is so like pro games, and then like she says that in the end. I was like, oh my gosh, like where's that change? So this like that whole thing is so interesting to me. Oh my gosh, thank you for like elaborating.
You're welcome. I just I have too much time and to think about not even like tertiary characters.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, and it's possible that that's just like a gap in Suzanne's writing or something, or maybe I'm like reading way into it, but I don't know. I also feel like Suzanne's very intentional with her words and like what she makes characters say, and to have that be like her only spoken sentence is interesting at the very least. That's all.
That's interesting.
A lot of time passes like after she gets captured by the Capitol and before the whole meeting with all the other tributes, maybe she saw like how the Cap was really like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
True.
something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Katniss also just has an idea of what the career tributes are like, right?
Right.
Like she has her own opinions of them, and everything that she's saying about Enobari is through her lens. So she's kind of an unreliable narrator in that
Yeah.
way.
I felt like that too with Ballad. Like, Coriolanus is so like narrow. Like we don't really know the full picture.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like even like with Finnick, like we don't know what he's dealing with until Mockingjay, and Katniss is like this guy,
This guy.
this guy. I'm being polite, you know what I mean? But like,
I would just love
and
for
because she doesn't know.
I would love for Suzanne to do like a little like series of like novellas. I cannot never say that word, but like you know what I mean, like on
Mhm.
like the other tributes and like Haymitch and like just anyone, just like little ones like that, and then like maybe to like cap it all off, I'd appreciate like a little like post like Mockingjay, like what happened to Katniss and Peeta's type of situation, and my life would be complete if we could get like a little set of novellas. I'd be living life because I just want to like I know we get like their backstories, but I want to know like more on them. We just get so little and we're only seeing it from like Candace's perspective. So I mean
Yeah.
it only goes like so deep. Like I want to know like from their perspective and like whatever. I just feel like she could do so much with it and like it would be so great. I don't know. That's my little side note.
True. Just forever praying for a guide.
Yeah.
1,000 pages. You are just finished.
There we go.
See, get us talking.
Does that bring us to the next chapter?
Chapter
It
8.
does.
She's a Mockingjay. What is that?
It's like a oh my gosh.
It's a Mockingjay. There we go. Now whenever I watch the movie, AJ, you put that into my mind.
I really just wanted you to think about me,
Oh.
and I just I'm just kidding.
But yes, Katniss becomes the Mockingjay. And this part in the movie, I love, 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 love.
Yes.
It is amazing. It's awesome seeing like Caesar's reaction. I love it in the book too, because he's like, oh shit, what am I supposed to do with this? He's like, I've never been trained how to stop this on live television. I just love it so much. So awkward.
Yeah, I agree.
And then PETA steps up there
I
and
was gonna
drops.
say,
Drops
PETA,
that
if it weren't for the baby Malark.
That comes up on my like TikTok for you page all the time. People talking about that. And I'm like,
Yes.
that is like an iconic movie moment, like book moment. I will never forget reading that for the first time and being like, "What, boy? What did you just say?"
Yeah, my note that I wrote down was, well, it was more the reaction of like all of the extras and everything, but like seeing that in the theater for the first time,
Yeah,
just the way everyone was like gasping, and I don't know, that was a moment that when I walked out of the theater that I kept remembering.
yeah.
I
And his
just thought
little
was
like
so well
smirk,
done.
looking at Hamish, he like smirks, and Hamish is like,
Ugh.
like, that is like a moment, and it's very like it's very like I don't know, PETA like to me because that like I feel like he is very like thoughtful on like what he's doing and like I don't know like well organized and planned if that makes sense, and so like he just was like I did it, like there's that, and I don't know, it's just
It
great.
I love that
also,
he-
go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
Oh, I was just gonna say it also leads to one of the best performances in the next movie, where that lady says, "Well, what about the baby?"
Stop.
That's always been one of my favorites. So
That's all that's important.
What about that plot line?
that should be on the soundboard, by the way.
Oh, okay. Got it on it.
Are you writing a list, Holly?
I am now. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I really want the bad dengue Gale in the beginning of the movie. I think that'd be pretty fun.
No, that is not allowed. That's forbidden.
Every time we hate on Gail, that's gonna come up.
Yeah.
Get to work.
I do like that PETA, like as soon as they're off stage, he asks like, "Do I have anything to apologize for?"
Yeah, I like that part. I wish that was like a little moment was in the movie.
Considering because last time
Yeah.
you like assaulted me.
A
True.
broken vase.
I just love, okay, like backtracking a little bit, I love his smirk because like reading about how like PETA like makes this smirk after he announces, like Josh did that so perfectly.
Ah.
Oh, I love it so much.
Hamish raising his flask.
Oh my gosh, that's like one of my favorite movies, like moments ever. Like I just
To me, that reminds me of the thumbs up in the first movie that he gives Katniss.
Yep.
It was so weird for me to see Woody Harrelson at the Oscars last night. I was like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's Hamish.
Gosh, Woody Harrelson is. I think he's hilarious. I think he's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just, and then like in the like he just like gives off in the movies. I don't know like so much in the books a little bit, but like he gives off like this like proud like dad vibe for like Katniss and PETA, and I just like I don't know. I just love that. Like it just like really like cements the fact that like they're a team, like they're a family, and I just think it's like so sweet. I don't know.
I just love the part where she like goes in her mind to like District 12 and is like somewhere very far off is a place called District 12 and like steps out of her voice like Katniss to like reflect on like what's gonna happen based on her like what she's done to her family, and I'm just like there's something just so amazing in that
I just love that part. I forgot that even happened. Like I love that.
It's so beautiful.
It feels like when she's explaining that too, like for me, I was like, oh, this is like a zoomed out shot, and then it's like an aerial view that goes back down into District 12 and like into their home.
Watching that, yeah, because I mean, like, how did Prim react? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
During the whole baby bomb or this or that, seeing the dress.
Yeah.
And then it just makes this is just all sad because then they like are whisked off stage.
You never see Effie again.
Exactly.
That part gets because I always forget, like now that I've seen the movie so many times, that like she's there in the movie. So I'm like, oh, okay, like she's there the whole time. But then they like talk about this and they just like never see her again. And I'm like, well, that's sad.
And then it makes me so sad, like when they're saying goodbye to Hamish and he says, "Stay alive." That's almost an old joke with us. He gives us each a quick embrace, and I can tell that's all he can stand. And I'm like, stop. No.
It's sad for sure in the movies, but I feel like it's definitely like it hits harder in the book for sure. Like my heart was like aching.
Like I can
Especially
tell
when you read it for the first time, you don't know how it's gonna go, and you're like, "What, Hamish?"
I don't understand why they didn't get her out along with the prep team. Like that doesn't really make sense. I don't know why that was not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because not to fast forward, but in the end of Mockingjay, the explanation of how Effie survived is nowhere to be found. It's just they say that it was hard to keep her alive, and it's like what? Like that doesn't how is it even possible that she is alive right now? Wouldn't she be she'd be the first one I think they try to kill.
Yeah,
like everybody else is executed.
Real quick.
Right, it makes no sense. I really think that was a flaw in the whole story, but I try to ignore it.
That's a good point.
It's like they killed Senna, but they didn't kill the person who's with her from like the first day she was ever a tribute. I don't know. It's just weird.
I mean, maybe they knew that like Effie wasn't really like in on the action. I mean, like Senna was very clearly like in on the whole plot of the rebellion, and like Effie is Effie in the books. Like she's very oblivious and kind of, you know, very like dedicated to the Capitol too, I feel, and like Snow's agenda. So I feel like maybe he was like, she's fine, whatever, we don't gotta worry about her. But like at the same time, I guess if I was President Snow and I was like real like getting people together to like capture, she'd probably be the first on my list. So who was with them this whole time? All right, let's get her. So I agree with that. I never really thought about that before.
They like capture her and interrogate her and have one like they ask her one question and then she gives some answer like, oh, he drew a picture of Katniss or some
Yeah.
dumb thing, and they're like, nah, she's fine.
No.
She doesn't know anything.
Said her
Or
face.
I can't believe they didn't keep her almost like Peter, like his bait. I don't know, to like lure
Yeah.
Katniss in a way. I don't know. It's just kind of an odd. I feel like her ending needed to be concluded in a better way.
Yeah, it's really too bad that Suzanne didn't do the same thing that ended up being done in the movies with Effie and that arc.
I think she really regrets it. I think I've read that before. She was like, "Yeah, I should have did what we did in the movies because it's a lot better."
Effie is like, she's a sorry.
No, go ahead.
I know she's kind of like a smaller like background character, but like I feel like with the movies, like just like her style and her like personality and energy, like I just think back to like the trailers of like her at the reaping and like her pink outfit. Like I just feel like she stands out so much to like the audience and like the people who are watching the movies and reading the books that like for us she becomes something more. And so that's why she like got more of a storyline, because we like just like drew more attention to her.
I mean, she represents the Capitol.
Yeah.
For the audience. So yeah.
Let's see.
And then we get the classic line, you just remember who the enemy is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never realized this line about like he's styling in a way that makes me sure I've already disappointed him. So was it Emily? Did you pick that out? I'm like,
yeah, I underlined that. I was like, oh, unreliable narrator Katniss.
yeah.
I feel like that's not it at all.
Wait, what?
Like struggling, I feel like, to tell her more. And it's potentially like maybe he's scowling, he's like unhappy with that he knows he's gonna break her promise. There's like so much going on there with Haymitch.
There is a lot going on there. I think I really love the next like paragraph or so, next 2 paragraphs. I don't really know because it's so broken up, but just like talking about them like getting ready for bed and like how she doesn't want to like be separated from him, and like them not really sleeping, just being like half asleep, and that like anxiety and like stress. I don't know, like not that I've ever like gone into the Hunger Games obviously and like fought to the death, but I just feel like no, like having something to be anxious over and like knowing it's the next day and like not being able to sleep and that like tossing and turning in the darkness, like miserable feeling, like I don't know. It just like it made me think of that, like I could connect to it, and I just like don't remember this part from the last time I've read, and like that really like I don't know, it made me feel uneasy, and I just like when a book is able to like make me like feel this like similar feelings as to what they're going through, if that makes sense.
Suzanne Collins.
Yeah.
Genius.
Right. Very smart. Also the like he gives me a light kiss and says like see you soon, like it's just like that's like so they're not on camera, like they're by themselves, like I don't know if the prep team is still in the room. I guess maybe they are, but like other than that, like they're just like that was for like himself, and I think that's like sweet, or for herself, or like just for them, and I'm like, oh, that's so nice, like that wasn't on camera, that was just like for them too.
Her love is real.
Yeah, like oh, like that's so nice, like one last kiss before they're like on camera and it's like back to like the act, you know.
And then we get the wetsuits.
Yeah.
Holly's favorite.
I prefer them, but anyway, I prefer them in the book.
What?
Right?
No,
What?
no. Take that back.
That's all. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.
Wait, what was said? I missed it. I'm sorry.
I like the suits, the like arena suits in the book more than I do in the movie.
You
are just winding me up.
They are gnarly and I hate them.
I'm just thinking about all
I wish
the
they would have
fan
included
art
the belts, but
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about all the fan art of this,
Yeah,
and
with the blue and the purple belts,
your material,
the
zippers,
flotation devices, whatever.
your material, like what is that? Like I don't even.
Exactly, it's perfect. It's
the padded belt, like what the nylon. I just don't know what the heck is going on here. Like I'm so confused.
They should have done
Holly,
it.
if I did said something to upset you, I would rather you just tell me.
I hate the training outfits, and the arena outfits. I can't stand them.
Yeah.
But I love you. It's just I hate those.
I don't know. These are fighting words.
They really are.
Anyway,
Thank you, Emily.
Hallucinations.
well, anyway, enough about
What
me.
was that?
Powerful hallucinations.
Powerful hallucinations.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. I can't.
Powerful hallucinations.
That's like frightening
That's great.
in my nightmares.
Next week, I will come back with more sound bites.
I want one of those like Halloween animatronic that you put like in your front yard or something, and it's just Caesar in the white suit and cane,
Oh my
and just
God.
that's just the sound bite that's playing.
He's like so scary looking in that part.
His smile.
can I be on the soundboard?
No, you can't. You're not in the Hunger Games movie, and not until your ballad movie comes out, I will not allow it.
Your
Who's
ballad movie?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
Ordered this
I
ballad
forgot.
movie.
He's
Yeah,
Corey
I
Lane.
forgot the filming
Sorry.
starts. I'm sorry. It's been such a rush.
Oh my God.
It's been like 16-hour days.
Say snow lands on top.
I can't right now confirm or deny that I'm in the movie, so I can't say that.
No,
Yeah.
you can't be on the soundboard.
Yeah, me and Zendaya, we can't confirm or deny it.
That's what she was texting about last night at the Oscars, you know. She had a
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
debate
You're
on the
texting me.
planning here.
Tom Holland is jealous now.
Yeah, why couldn't Tom Holland be Snow? Has that been discussed? Her and
I read his-
Zendaya.
It shouldn't be.
When I was reading Ballad for the first time, I pictured Sejanus as Tom Holland. And
Yeah,
for
me
me, that's like
Yeah.
so cemented in my brain. And obviously, I'll be open to whatever. But like, yeah.
I pictured him as well. Like, can't get him out of my mind.
I pictured everybody
just a
but
puppy
the
dog.
main three. I didn't even imagine anybody. Like, that's how depressing that reading was. I imagined every other character as somebody but the main three. I just made like bodies with no faces. I don't
That's
know.
really how it was for me too.
That's how I am with the trilogy too. Like, I guess I don't really think.
I
I guess
can
now that the movies are out,
now.
I do. But
I can like see them now, but like before I never could. And with Ballad, I've only read it once. I've never like reread it again. And I just feel like they're like faceless, like, and I don't know. I don't have like a connection to the story yet. I need to like reread it.
I wish Suzanne was an artist because I would love to see her interpretation of Cat. Like, I think all the characters, how cool would that be to be able to just look into her mind? That would be awesome. Maybe she can go to like a police sketcher.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Or I think they're called sketch artists, not sketchers. Those are shoes. Sorry.
Police sketchers.
Sketchers, light up the night.
I want like an animated series.
Oh yes. There's a lot of things I want. I could like
Mhm.
draft the long
So
one.
many.
A
No.
graphic novel.
A graphic
I thought-
novel would be great.
When I was in high school, I was like, I'm gonna do a graphic novel. And I was like, that graphic novel would be so big. And then
Yeah.
I was like, I think I tried to do like one page and I was like, yeah, never mind.
I can't imagine.
Even like I saw the City of Ember. Like, who even remembers that? That has a graphic novel. Where is the Hunger
Yeah.
Games graphic
I just
novel?
feel I will forever be like upset and be like holding grudges against, I don't know, whoever is in charge of this business, for like not giving us more. Like, why do all these other franchises have like so much merch and I still
Everything.
get new stuff? Like, why am I walking by like the like Harry Potter like merch stands and Target
Mhm.
and like we're not like, I just feel like the Hunger Games is like very like famous and popular and it still like resonates deeply with a lot of people, and I just feel like they could still be making money off of it, so like why wouldn't you do it? Like, I just feel like all these other franchises have all this merch like still to this day and we get nothing. We have like the same like graphic t-shirts from like 2012 or like the blankets with like Josh Hutcherson's face on it, and I'm like, please, let's
Not me.
give me something else, someone.
Step
Or I
it
like
I know,
up.
I
it's
do
so
find, like,
true.
I just can't. I do find like independent artists on like Etsy and stuff that like make their own stuff, and that's great. And I love to support people like that, and that's awesome. But like, it's just, it would be nice if we had some more like stuff where it's accessible. Like, I'd love to walk through Target and see like there's the Hunger Games section. Great.
But also, like when fans do try to take things into their own hands and create things, we get shut down.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
it's like, what's up with that?
exactly.
Pick one or the other.
Right.
Maya, like so pissed off. Lionsgate, I am pissed.
Yeah, that's
So I will
frustrating.
forever be mad about
I
that.
like the simplicity of the marketing techniques of the Hunger Games. I know that's an unpopular opinion.
I liked like their marketing techniques and stuff. I just don't like. I just wish we had more. Like, I don't know, just a little bit more. Like, I don't know. I don't want it to seem like a money grab, but I just feel like there's so much more that they can do.
Yeah, it's like look at any other fandom that's
Right, and I just feel like
huge.
trends like change and like styles change, and like I feel like things are so different now than they were 10 years ago when like the first movie came out. So I just feel like it can like grow and adapt and change with that and like still like be great. And like there's just like there can always be more. And I don't know. Like I feel like we got a lot of great things like during the times of the movies and stuff and like during like the hype. But like, I don't know. There's just more. It makes me sad. I'll forever be sad that like Twilight and Harry Potter and everybody else is like living the dream and we're bumming over here.
Yeah.
I always
'cause
try to think about it like, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I always think the Hunger Games is such a serious, like, strong book. And if we did a sellout like Harry Potter's done and put our brand on everything, it will become an industrialized marketing scheme across America.
That is very
So-
cool. I do see people talking about it a lot on social media.
Because Harry
See-
Potter's like everywhere. It's almost become like you're dull to it.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it's
you
like,
can
oh,
still
it's Harry
do
Potter.
things with taste,
That's true.
right? Like prop replicas, that sort of thing.
Both
So
very back and forth. Like I just saw this TikTok about like a Hunger Games amusement park, and then people in the comments were like really upset because they were like, "This gives me like is this not like very capital of like
Yeah.
us? Like isn't this like what you're like the whole like book is against?" And I'm like, yes, but at the same time, like given the opportunity, you might like catch me on the roller coaster there.
You know
That's
something
hard
like
because I'm like
so-
I agree, but like also like
I am the capital, so you know what? It's all right. Like
yeah.
when
I don't even mind that aspect of it. Like, I don't, if you want to, like, if critics want to say that, like, that's cool. I just don't want to become like Harry Potter where everyone and their mom is a fan and they're not really a fan, but they go and they have, that gets on my nerves. Some people would probably like that because that means that everyone's in love with the books. And I agree, like, that would be cool. But, like, to have every other person in America just in love with Harry Potter, you know, if that related to the Hunger Games, that would kind of hurt because it's like, okay, do they really like it or they just like it because everyone else likes it? Because I feel like some people are like that with Harry Potter. Maybe not. I have grudges against Harry Potter.
I was gonna
That's
say,
a
you just
very
have it out
lovely-
for Harry
Yeah.
Potter.
Yeah,
I-
there's some hatred towards the
Right
Harry
now.
Potter people, not the fans, but just the how
Harry
much.
Potter as a whole.
Yes.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's just like you can't go anywhere without seeing it, so it gets on my nerves. But I
See, like-
appreciate the people who love it.
See, like the thing, like when Todd Phillips's Joker movie came out, and like the Funko Pop community was like, "Why aren't there any Joaquin Phoenix Joker pops? Like you'd think they would do that." And then it was like there was like a bigger conversation of like, "Wait a minute, there's actually no merch for this Joker movie," which is kind of different. And it was because they were like, "Yeah, we felt like it went against like the integrity of like the message or whatever."
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's kind of interesting. I mean, I still don't think like someone getting a Funko Pop means that you wholeheartedly agree with what the character stands for, but I do appreciate that like we could be making a lot of money with this and we're choosing not to because for us the message is more important than the pop culture like fun consumption of it. So for Hunger Games, like I feel like that could be a potential like reason for that. But then I'm like, but at the
feel
same
like
time,
that's
like
it though.
no, because and that's why I'm saying like because if that were the case, we wouldn't have had merch to begin with, or at least we wouldn't like back then, like there would not be Barnes and Nobles and Target and Hot Topic sections full of Hunger Games merch to begin with. So I feel like that's not the thing, like the main reason. I mean, I always go back to like it's expensive to put out merch and to do all that, and you guys know I'm a collector. I'm like, give it all to me. I don't care how expensive it is.
Yeah.
You know? But from their perspective, like these companies that have to make these decisions, it costs a lot of money to keep it going for a long time. Like franchises like Harry Potter and Star Wars and whatever are like massive, and they've been around for a long time and have transcended a few generations already. And I'm not saying that Hunger Games doesn't have the potential for that, but I don't think it's been received in the same way, where it's like such like a global phenomenon that they would keep pushing out the same quantity of merch as when the movies were coming out when there's no movie. Well, now there's Ballad. It's kind of a different story now, but like, I don't know. It's super tricky. I definitely wish there was more access to Hunger Games merch. I feel like discontinuing like all of it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need like a whole, I mean, I would love it, but I don't need like flagship stores and all this crazy stuff that you see for other franchises. But I don't know.
No,
It would be nice
that's a really good
to
point.
just like walk into a store and be like, you know what, I want a Mockingjay pin keychain,
Yeah.
and I can just go to Target for that.
Yeah.
But no,
That's
you
like
can't.
like just like the easiness of it, like just to be able to do it. But I like also agree with like everything you said, really. Like it would be nice, but at the same time, I do really like understand and appreciate like what they've done. And I think it does give us like this great opportunity to find art made by the fans. And I feel like that is so like intimate and special because we are kind of like, I feel like an intimate fandom. Like, not that we're like
Yeah.
not huge and that it wasn't huge at one time, but like
We're
it's
very
just like,
self-contained.
it's smaller, and like I like what Chase said about like just like it's everywhere with some other like franchises, and we're just kind of like our own little group doing our own little thing, and like we have what we have, and like we appreciate it, and like we do really appreciate like the story and stuff and like the meaning behind it. So I agree.
I'm super interested to see what they'll do for Ballad. I don't think it'll be anywhere near like how things were in 2012, because that's just, you know, it's just not, I don't think that's realistic to hope for. But I am hopeful that they will do some stuff and that it won't be, and even if that dies out eventually too, you know. But yeah, I feel like there's a middle ground. What?
I said sorry for the Harry Potter hate. I didn't mean that towards anyone.
No, that's okay. I'm a Harry Potter fan,
Except
but
the
I
Harry
agree.
Potter world. I'm directing it at the world, not the fans.
Yeah.
We're taking it very personally, Chase.
Sorry.
My
kidding.
father will hear about this.
God. They're everywhere. And it's like it's I read the first 3 books. I didn't see the draw, but I appreciate it if you do. You love it all you want, because I won't fight you for the book. So,
Well, Chase, you stopped before the best one.
they were so big. It was like, it's not even that much material. They're just walking around the school and eating chocolate frogs and riding on a broom.
Are you sure you read it?
I can watch that in Halloween Town, okay? If I want to go watch someone fly on a broom.
Classic.
Yeah, like, why am I going to read it? Anyways, at first I really loved them, but I lost the appeal. But I appreciate that people love them, and that's okay. Everyone has their thing.
Yeah, I agree. I love this little like tangent we just went on.
Yes.
It was very like fun, but also like I feel like it was like meaningful in a little special little way there. I don't know. I just feel like our little tangents very like reflect our like love for the series. Like when we like go off on our little talks, I don't know, just the way we talk.
Especially because like I can't have random little tangents with most people in my life to this extent.
Right.
Because I can't be like, hey, remember how that Finnick catching fire action figure looks terrible? No one's gonna be like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, unless it's you guys.
Oh my gosh, I love that you just said that, because like I feel, not to like get all like sappy and deep, I feel like we're like,
no, do it. I love
it. It's the 10-year anniversary. Get as sappy as you want.
Anniversary, and I'm like, I'm not normally here, so like you guys get to unfortunately hear my voice, but I just like feel like it's so special to like be able to talk to you guys and like just get to like experience this, because like it's true, like I can't just like talk about this in my normal like life. I don't know, like my friends obviously like have watched the movies, read the books, like they know the story, and like we'll talk about it and it's fine. Like they know that I love the series, but like it's just not the same. Like we can't like make jokes about like the little details or like talk about that one specific thing that is said when like the pig comes in during, like it's just like I can't have those conversations with other people. And like
There we go.
yeah, exactly. Like that just like doesn't exist in my everyday life. And it like there's like no greater joy that I have than like hopping on to like social media and being like, there's like I see like everybody's Instagram stories and like people talking about ballad news and like just like showing what they've like recently collected. And I'm just like, I have so much like joy and happiness to like see this just because I don't know, like it's just so great. Like we just understand each other as like as fans in like a different way. And I feel like any fans of anything probably feel that way about what they're fans of. But I don't know, there's just something so special about these books that like have a deeper meaning for so many people and like connects people on such like a broader level. And then like we get to talk about that, but we also get to talk about like the funny moments where it's just like, oh my gosh, like the cave scene like in the movie is like, oh, that's horrible. Like I don't know, like the cave
No, it's
thing,
not.
like, that just cracked me up. Like I don't know, just that we get to like do that is just like so special. And I just think we have such a great little community. And I don't know, that's my little like I love the series moment for you guys today. So that's what you
Cry,
get.
Nicole.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm like literally we're like shedding tears. I don't know, I just like it used to be able to talk about it with a lot more people because a lot more people were like fans and into it, and then it kind of like faded off. And now there's just like the little group. I feel like we're on like our little island, just like doing our thing.
Ooh, love a good island.
Yeah.
No, it's true though. I feel like Emily and Holly don't get enough credit all the time.
Yeah.
But a year, 2 ago, like no one talked to me about the Hunger Games, and everyone knew I was like loved the series, but I think a lot of us felt like we were all just kind of floating along. We loved the series, but there was no one to really talk to about it. So just go on with your life. And to have the community like built up like that, even in our own little way, is just really awesome. And then looking forward to Monday nights and watch alongs, and just like you said, the inside jokes, stuff like that was. I mean, I never thought that would be possible a year ago. So.
No, I agree. I just like I thought it was all gone and over, and I felt like I was so young when it was like all in the like height of things, like not like super super young, but like young enough that I felt like I couldn't like really connect in the way that I wanted to. So then now that it like all came back and just like looking forward to all the things we do and stuff, it's just like I don't know, it's just so special. And I was gonna say something else, but I just forgot, so that's unfortunate. But it was a good thing. I can't remember what it was now, so that's just unfortunate. I don't know, it's just so great. I just like love that we can all like connect and talk, and I just never saw this being something that would have. So I agree. I don't think Holly and Emily get enough credit for the little community that they've built up.
They're our birth
I
mothers.
agree.
Thanks, Nicole. We'll pay you after the show.
Yeah,
But
just,
like,
I'll be sending my bill.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, I think a lot about like if we didn't have the internet or social media and you didn't meet these people with the same interests, like it's so cool to meet different people that have these same interests. And it's just crazy to think about, like, if we didn't have that, you wouldn't even know those people exist out there. But like, it's just cool to think about, I think.
I for so long I felt like I am the only person. Obviously I know that I'm not, but like just I think since the last movie came out, I've just felt like alone because people just moved on. Even before that, people moved on. And like I've talked about this before with some people, but like when I went into like high school and after like the last movie came out, I like got rid of all like my stuff that I had related to the series other than like my books, and like stopped talking about it. And like I still followed the accounts, but I just like didn't think about it and care. I don't want to say I didn't care, but I just feel like it like wasn't a part of my life because I felt like nobody else had it as a part of their life. And I was like embarrassed to like talk about it and like mention it and like make it a part of my life. So I just feel so like I can like be myself knowing that I have like this community that like if I see something or I think of something, I can just like DM someone or like just like post about it and like there it is, and like see other people like talking about it. Like that's just so special because like I feel like I'm like not alone and I can like be myself in that way. And I just think that's so great. Like I can't believe that like that type of feeling and like all that like camaraderie comes from like books, like YA books. Like it shocks me.
Yeah. I mean, I just Like I always wish that I started my account in 2020 during the lockdown because I was like, oh, let me just make a hobby because ain't got nothing else to do. Um, and I was like, dang, I should have just done this forever ago.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, I mean, better late than never, and everything happens for a reason or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this before. Like when I was in my trip in Vegas for the exhibition last year, and like I think I was talking with you, Emily, and like we didn't know each other super well yet, but I just remember being like texting my mom, being like, "I'm gonna make friends with these people. I don't care if it's the last thing I do."
It was mutual.
I to be like my best friends. Like I was like, oh,
Yes.
these people get me. Like I will be like driving in my car listening to the podcast, and I'm like I am crazy. I will like talk. Like I am like, oh my
I do that too.
like, I am like talking like I am on the show. Like I'm like, I just can't. Like I just love to like have my little commentary. Like it's just so nice to like know that there's like other people. I have like a friend who I met through like when I used to write fan fiction. She like commented on my fan fiction. We became friends, and we've been friends for the past like 9 years now, I think. And I like talk about you guys all the time, and like just how like nice it is to like have this, and like I don't know, it's just so special to like have more than like just her, and like I don't know, it's just so great. And like I don't know, that's like I just can't get over like the community. Like she lives in Arizona now, and like she used to live in Wisconsin, and she moved away, and like we got to meet like 2 years ago, and I'm like, I can't believe that I like met someone through this like fandom that I've like talked to for years and like had never seen in person. And then finally, as like a grown adult, I got to like meet them in person and like talk about the series face to face. And I just like I feel that same, like sort of like excitement with like all of you guys, where I'm like, I'm talking to you, and I don't like I've never met you in person, but like you're like my friends. Like my people get me, you know.
When Emily came to New York, and I just remember being like, "Oh my God, you're a real person!" And then like we like took that picture in my room, and I was just like, "This is so surreal."
It really was.
I was like, "This is so bananas. Like, is this real life?" I was like, "Nah, this is so weird." It was awesome, though. I mean,
Yeah, AJ is also real.
oh my God, yes, I'm real.
So ballad premiere when we're all like sleeping on a sidewalk together.
Yo.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That'll be the day. I can't wait.
We're gonna coordinate what food we're gonna bring to that. Who's bringing like the camping chairs?
Because the Mockingjay Part 1 premiere, I was just sleeping next to strangers. So.
Yeah. We're gonna have like our little group, like you know, sidewalk chalk box.
Tent City.
Us. It just cracks me up. I don't know. I just love it.
Nicole, you're welcome to come back every single Monday from now on. So whatever, open invitation.
Oh my gosh, that is an honor. Every time you guys have like invited me, I mean, that's only been twice now, but at the 2 times you guys have invited me to like do something and participate, I'm like, this is an honor. I'm like telling my mom, my friends, I'm like, I feel like famous people are like talking to me right now. Like it cracks me up. So thank you. I like how we were like talking about the book, and then it just this whole thing.
So wholesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna go cry now. That was
oh my gosh.
Same.
Nicole, you're literally all the time. When can you be on the podcast? But
oh my gosh, whenever it would be my that would be like my accomplishment in life.
So, but you all
we've hijacked this tribute talk to just be we love Into the Arena and the Hunger Games.
Nice. Yeah. Like what? Chase doesn't speak nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was shocking.
I like how we still have like the whole
what?
Cinna's death.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Do we need to talk about that?
And we're like, oh my gosh, I love that.
Oh yeah.
Well, Cinna's dead, so
yeah, rip.
Perfect segue.
Anyway.
Sorry, my mic was off. I just had to say I had to give credit where credit was due, Holly.
Great.
Thanks, friends.
Oh my. What is happening?
I don't like the uncomfortable emotional side of this podcast right now. Who ordered this pig? All right, so Lenny Kravitz's death scene.
Oh my gosh.
Which is fabulous because of Jen's acting. acting in that scene.
Yes, I think that's one of the most powerful scenes in some of the movies. And then when she gets up the tube and just like the way it changes from the dark to light. Yes.
So good.
And the picture of her in front of all those green screens just really emphasizes how amazing that scene is. Wow, she did that all on her own.
Yeah.
That scene, like watching that scene in the movie is always so hard for me. It's like, because not that I don't care about it in the book, but it just doesn't strike me the same way as it does in the film. And it's like, it gives me that same like really tense discomfort, like when they're on the victory tour and talking to like Rue's family or whatever, where I'm like, and like the old man gets executed or whatever, and I'm like, this literally is excruciating to watch. And the Cinna death thing is just because it's just so cruel to like make her get in the tube, to like trap her, to make sure she sees it and she can't do anything about it, and then immediately gets ushered into a game so she doesn't even have time to like process it.
Yeah.
It's so much.
This is one of my favorite chapter endings. Like, No Place for a Girl on Fire.
Yeah.
It's great.
Poetry.
I was just really excited because of the water. Like, thinking about Survivor, my favorite challenges are all of the water challenges. So I was just pumped reading this for the first time, knowing that it was a water-related arena.
Oh, and last week, I'm sorry, real quick. Last week, that challenge was crazy. Back to the story. Sorry.
Hey, yours big.
I'm just like, expecting it now every time it's like silent.
Jerry is now the soundboard.
Yeah, I do
The
it in my
analog,
head when it's silent.
the analog soundboard.
I just can't get over that they have like metal studded gloves in the book to hit him with. That really gets me. That's like so gruesome.
That's intense.
I'm glad we did not get to see that in the movie because I died probably.
Kind of just sound like that though.
Yeah.
But just think of like the character, like Cinna, knowing that this is going to happen to him, because he even says to her, like, I like to, do this so that only I'm the only one that gets hurt. So like he knows that this is going to happen, but it's like his last stand against the Capitol.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, it definitely, I'm sure, like, hurt in the moment, but at least they don't, like, torture him for an extended period of time. Like, I feel like he probably, croaks pretty quick here.
Yeah.
I know, I'm like, bad.
That was very gangster. Like, not gangster, but like the mob. He's gonna croak.
I know, oh my gosh. I feel like my
exactly
thing is strange, but like I don't know, that is just, I'm glad that he like seems to go pretty quick, but it's very gruesome and frightening, and the fact that he like knew it was coming, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Or like in the
and that's where Lenny won his Academy Award, right?
Yep.
It was that scene.
I like Lenny as Cinna.
Who said that?
Nicole.
I'm sorry.
Nicole's not getting invited back.
No, I couldn't tell.
Chase is not in charge of that, so.
That's true. I'm getting booted off the island.
No, Nicole, you're always invited.
No, I like him. I know that in the books he seems a little bit more like flamboyant and like he's just different, like different personality. But I don't know. I like Lenny as him. It's very like cool and like, I don't know.
Nicole, I agree with you.
I do too. I've never had a.
I'm sure if it's someone else.
Let's all unite.
It's not the vibe.
No, I think it is the vibe. I think if it was someone else, like, and they had done it like he is in the books, like very specific to like his personality, I'm sure I would have liked that too. But at the same time, I feel like this story is very like somber, and like Katniss wouldn't have like related as much to someone as to like the Cinna that is like in the books. I don't know if that like makes sense, but in my mind that's just how it is. So I feel like when like I think Gary Ross said that like he specifically picked Lenny to like do Cinna because he like felt that like that was the right vibe, and I like agree. Like I just feel like it was just like a better fit, and I feel like she would have made more of a connection with someone like the Lenny version of Cinna. So that's my hot take on it. But
Nicole,
I'm
I think
I'm
I have a
like
better
anyone.
chance of not getting asked back before you do, so don't worry.
Oh my gosh.
Every week I feel like I toe the line of getting kicked out.
Oh, you're so funny. You like make it so comical. I'm like cracking up.
That's debatable.
Doesn't read. So
Hey, but I could tell you the whole chapters right now. That
yeah, because we went over them.
I'm gonna have to go back and let the
Like,
audio
pulling
girl
up
read me
notes.
the chapter endings of these two.
Oh my
I think she'll do pretty good.
I can't. I just like picture Chase pulling up like Spark Notes on his phone, like being like, okay, so like this is where we're at. Like this is what I should say. Like writing an essay. I don't know.
I did so good the first week. Like I wrote out notes and I had it ready. Like
You did.
I'm sorry, school really got me. You can tell like it slowly declined. I'm sorry.
School got me too. This is my first time I've actually like been a part of for the whole book. I've been like reading along, but I never like actually make it to like actually joining and like listening along. So
But see, I never read along with Ballad either, and I had some very like constructive discussions about that. So I mean,
Wait, you didn't read it, and you had all those conversations with us without like even reading it? That's pretty impressive, honestly.
I've never read any of the books with the watch-alongs except the first couple chapters of Catching Fire. Yeah.
And
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. I didn't have time.
I feel like I get that. Like my classes sorry, I'm like interrupting someone.
Oh no, you're good.
In my classes, like I'm an English major. I feel like if you guys didn't know that, I am. And like in my classes, a lot of like the people don't read the books, like, you know, like or are not caught up on them.
That was me.
Because
English
they're like,
major.
I don't know, I'm reading like Jane Eyre, Pride and Prejudice, like I am reading books for like post-colonial literature, like all these different stuff, and like it's a lot, and I just don't always have time to like keep up with all of them. So then I just like go to class and like someone will like say something about it, and then like I'm prompted, and like since I know like the general idea of like where I'm at to talk about it, like I can make comments on it and like draw conclusions from that. So I feel like I get that. Like I could probably come and like not have read and still talked about it.
I just never talked in class, so it worked out.
I mean, I don't always talk in class. It depends on what we're reading. Some things I have like big opinions on, and other times I'm like, nah.
Oh, in college, no. I go to my seat over in the corner by myself. I put my head down. I look at my phone. Actually, the other day, one of my classmates said, I've never heard you speak before, and we've been going in the same class for 3 years. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason. I don't want to talk.
I can be like that. In my English classes, I'll talk, but it depends on what English class too. Like some of my professors are like, yeah, you're an English major and you never talk during discussion, so that's kind of a problem. But I'm like, it depends on what class. You got me in my like, if you would have seen me in my dystopian lit class, you would have gotten a lot of action from me. It just depends. Gotta catch me in
dystopian lit?
I told you this, and my professor used to teach a book called The Hunger Games in Philosophy, and he doesn't teach it anymore. I have the book. He doesn't teach it anymore. And they all wrote essays on the Hunger Games, and I got to read them because that's what she brought for like her sample essays. And I would just go to her office hours and like talk to her about it. I'm like, why did I not come to college like 100 years ago when you taught this?
Wait,
like,
you still have it?
I do have the book at home.
Could you send screenshots so we could read them?
Oh, sure. I will get right on it. It's a big book, but I will.
Oh, I thought you meant there were essays. I'm sorry.
Oh, the essays? I might still have them.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to send them all. I'm curious to read stuff like that.
No, they're very interesting. Like they talk about like, because they relate it to like the real world. So it's like, it's very interesting to talk of like, to read about. I would have loved to take the class, but I don't know.
I know there's a professor that is teaching a course for like freshmen, I think, about the Hunger Games. I forget what university, but he also like wrote a book in the last year related to the Hunger Games. I'm like, we should get him on the podcast.
I think it's such a teachable book, like book series. Like there's so much to learn for all ages in it. So
that's where I first read Hunger Games, was my sociology class at my university.
Students read it now, like in middle school, high school, and in like university level. So I just think it's so interesting. I know when I'm a teacher, I'll be teaching it. So
Tyler, you didn't read it when you were like young?
Well, the movie came out when I was in 12th grade. So, like, I'm a little older I'm like Emily's age. So,
What?
I was like high school. I was like 12th grade when the movie came out.
I did not know that. I thought you were like my age.
I'm 27.
I just assume everyone read it at 11. Oh.
Your
Right?
microphone, is it just me or like, is it really?
Yeah.
No, Chase is cutting out.
It's like
Hello?
I'm dying over here.
Is this thing on?
Drowning.
Is it better?
It's like, it sounds like you're drunk. I'm sorry, but it was really funny.
that was so funny.
It's like,
This is cool,
I brought you
Taylor, I had no idea you were
wine.
27.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
either.
It makes me feel less old because I'm
Well,
almost 29.
Everyone thinks I'm like 18 because I guess I look like 10 years younger, but I'm 27.
Yeah.
I just feel like I always think in my mind that we're all the same age. But I like that we all read it at different ages and we're like at different points in our life when we first like experienced it. And I think that's really cool.
No, I just assume we're all 22 and we all read it at age 11, like I did. I just assume everybody does, and then I have to remind myself that people are older and people read it at different times.
Yeah,
I think I was about 20 when I first read it, or 21. I can't remember. I think it was my third year at Marshall, maybe my second year. I was like 19, 20, 21, somewhere around there.
See, at least you remember what, like when the first time you read it. Like I struggle to remember sometimes what I thought about certain stuff the first time I read it, which is kind of disappointing because I would love to know what like the 11-year-old.
I was going through my stuff the other day and I found like annotated copies that I like annotated when I was like 12, and like if they weren't like my first ever copies of the book, I'd probably like put them in a fire pit and burn them because the annotations in them scare me. Just because like my thoughts as a 12-year-old were so like, I don't know, stupid. They just seem so like childish. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like embarrassed. Like, can no one ever crack open this book ever? But I love them so much. They're great, but I don't know.
I have that same feeling with the fan art that I made. I was 14.
My fan fiction lives on.
Nice.
It's out there somewhere that I've written. I thought I was so good. I was not. I can promise you.
You're like, I am gonna be Suzanne's apprentice.
I will also admit, this is like, I'm telling you guys, so whoever is watching, you are lucky. Somewhere out there, and this current moment is fan fiction that I wrote at like the ripe age of like right now, like 20 years old. Actually, I was probably like 18 because it was during the pandemic, and it's out there. So if you guys can find it, then there you go. It's out there. It's on Wattpad for the world to see.
Nicole, we're the same person.
It's like, yeah, it exists. I'm just so like secretive about stuff. So I'm like, I don't know. There's also, I have like a fan account out, like a Hunger Games themed Instagram account out there. If you can find that, go for it. I can't. Those are my deep dark secrets.
I'm gonna make it my life mission now to find all of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it. I found Holly's. So you're next.
Interact with you guys on the fan account, and I always like I feel like I like leave hints that it's me, and I just like wonder if like people notice.
What?
Oh my god, conspiracy theories.
You guys are gonna be like sending me accounts because it's you.
Now I am, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So yeah, that's my like tribute talk secret. It like secrets. I'm telling you right now. So I don't know. There you go.
Love that.
Oh my gosh, that's like talk has gone from like this is chapter 17 and 18 to
this is such a good talk.
Everything.
This is like one for the books.
I love that. I'm so happy that I got to be here.
The books. Anyway, who are this pig?
Oh, I thought of something I did when I was in 11. So I was reading the books. My mom, like, obviously they didn't know what the Hunger Games was. They're like, I mean, not many people at least around where I live knew at that point what they were. And she's like, so what's the book about? And I was telling her, she's like, well, is it good so far? I'm like, yeah. I said, there's only one bad part in it. And I said, they haven't cussed or anything, but the main character said she got in bed in her underwear. And my mom was like, okay, that's not bad, but okay.
I
I felt like I had to confess. Like, she said she was in her underwear. I'm sorry. If I need to throw the book away, I will.
Forget that she's like killing all these kids, but
Yeah. Don't mind that.
She got in bed in her underwear and went to sleep. Like, I'm sorry.
And that was in the first book that this occurred? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was like on the Capitol train, and she was like, "Screw it, I'm just taking my clothes off and going to bed."
And isn't it
And I
in
was
this
like-
chapter that she like strips down naked and gets into bed? You probably would have like, or like one of the chapters in the past, like recently. I don't know. I read like 5 today's, but
Yeah, I know she does that in Mockingjay at the very end when she's like suicidal. Yeah, I would have like had an
you probably would have
aneurysm over that one and been like, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, I just like I can't believe that I was such a like little kid reading these books, and I was just I don't know. So I don't know. I can't even believe it. I didn't feel that young when I read them, but I was like 11. I don't know.
The 11-year-olds did it best, but whatever.
And amen. Like, okay.
Where's big?
That okay, there was a way that like Holly always used to like say something at the end of like
But yeah.
But yeah. Okay. I was just thinking
But
about that. But yeah. I'm like, how does she normally end it?
But yeah.
That should be a merch option. A merch sticker should be, but yeah.
But yeah.
And order this pick.
Think of that.
And enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show. It was an honor to have you on, Nicole.
It was
so
an
fun. You are an amazing fan, and we adore you.
Oh, I adore all of you. I'm so happy that I got to do this. It made my Monday. Maybe a whole week, probably.
You made our whole week.
Good. I'm glad. I'm sorry you guys had to hear me talk for like 2 hours.
Stop. No, you are amazing.
That's why it's called Tribute Talk. That's
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, you guys really got a lot out of me. Secrets, thoughts, theories. Wow. It's really dragged it right out of me. So, I don't know, but thank you.
Dot.
Well, until next week, we will be back next Monday, same time, same place, for chapters 19 and 20. So we're starting part 3 of the book. Very
The
excited.
Quell. No, wait.
The enemy.
I'm sorry.
So we will see you all next week, and do your reading, Chase, and everyone.
Do your reading. Survivor's on at 7 Central for everyone on CBS. I swear, get into it. It's a good show. We have a little smaller circle of people that talk about it, so let us know if you watch it. And yeah, come back next week.
Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Oh my god.
And with that, good night.
Wait, what does that mean? I'm confused.
You should have been here for Oscar talk.